Heartland Season 19 brings an unexpected twist with Ty Borden's return, stirring up emotions in Amy and the whole ranch. Can a love once broken find its way back? Or is this reunion just another heartbreak in the making? Let's dive into the tension of old wounds and untold stories that might change everything. The return of Ty Borden in Heartland. Season 19 is the moment fans of the show have been anxiously waiting for. For years, we watched Amy struggle with the absence of her beloved husband, Ty, who tragically passed away. His death shattered her world, leaving a void that seemed impossible to fill. But in this season, a shocking twist unravels everything we thought we knew, as Ty reappears in Amy's life, alive. The moment Ty walks back into the world of Heartland, everything changes. Amy, who has spent years grieving and trying to rebuild her life without him, is forced to confront emotions she thought were long buried. The shock of his sudden return knocks her off balance, leaving her unsure of how to react. At first, she freezes, unsure if this is some kind of dream or if reality has truly caught up with her. Her heart races, her mind filled with disbelief and a flood of emotions she wasn't prepared for. Ty's return is not what Amy imagined. He is no longer the same person he once was, the vibrant, passionate man who filled her world with love. Instead, he carries an air of mystery, a heaviness in his gaze that makes it clear that the time apart from Amy has deeply affected him. The physical presence of Ty doesn't instantly heal the wounds Amy has carried for so long. It only raises more questions. What happened during the years that he was gone? Why has he returned now, when everything seems so different? The weight of the past hangs over them. Amy's initial reaction is one of anger mixed with relief. Her heart aches, not only for the years she spent alone, but for the man who has returned to her with so many secrets. She wants to believe that they can pick up where they left off, but something is holding her back. Ty is not the man he used to be, and neither is she. They have both changed, shaped by time and circumstances. The question of whether their love can still be the same is the core of this season's conflict. Ty's return also forces Amy to reckon with the life she has built without him. Over the years, Amy has had to grow, learn how to manage Heartland on her own, and raise her daughter, Lindy, without the man who was once by her side. While Amy never stopped loving Ty, she's had to adapt to a new reality. She's found strength in herself that she never knew she had. But now, with Ty back, that strength is tested. Can she continue to live the life she has built, or is she willing to risk it all for a chance at the love that was lost? As Ty reintegrates into the family, the reactions of those around him are just as complicated. Jack, the wise patriarch of Heartland, sees Ty's return through a lens of love and concern, but he can't ignore the way Ty has changed. There's a noticeable distance in his eyes, a hesitation in his actions, as if he is a man torn between two worlds. Jack, who always treated Ty like a son, is conflicted. He wants to believe in Ty's sincerity, but something feels off. Jack's instincts tell him that Ty is hiding something significant. And the more time that passes, the more Jack becomes convinced that the man standing before him is not the same boy who once worked at Heartland. Tim, Amy's father, has his own reservations about Ty's return. Having never fully embraced Ty's past, Tim has always been protective of Amy, and his skepticism now runs deep. He's seen the damage that Ty's absence has caused his daughter, and it's clear that the hurt still lingers. Tim's protective instincts flare up, and he struggles to reconcile his love for his daughter with his distrust of the man who left her behind. His confrontations with Ty are tense, filled with unresolved anger and suspicion. Tim's loyalty to Amy and his desire to protect her are palpable, and he isn't willing to let Ty back into their lives without a good reason. Lou, Amy's sister, is another key figure in the emotional fallout of Ty's return. Having witnessed Amy's journey after Ty's death, Lou is cautious and fiercely protective of her sister. She's seen how much pain Amy endured, and now she fears that Ty's return will open old wounds. Lou is torn between wanting to see her sister happy and wanting to shield her from more heartbreak. Lou's protective nature comes to the forefront as she challenges Ty, demanding answers about where he has been and why he didn't return sooner. But Ty remains tight-lipped, further deepening the mystery surrounding his disappearance. For Amy, the most significant conflict lies within herself. She wants to believe in the possibility of a future with Ty, to rebuild the family they once dreamed of. But she's scared. scared that history will repeat itself, that she will lose him again, or that he will pull away as he has done before. She's also terrified of what it means to open her heart to him once more. How can she trust him again when he has been gone for so long, and when he is so unwilling to share the details of his time away? The emotional toll on Amy is immense. She's stuck between her heart, which still yearns for the love she lost, and her head, which tells her that Ty's return is far more complicated than she ever imagined. Every interaction with him is a balancing act between old love and new fears. The woman she has become since his departure is so different from the one who lost him, and it's unclear if they can reconcile the past with the present. As the season progresses, the tension between Amy and Ty builds. Amy's patience begins to wear thin as she desperately searches for answers. She wants to understand Ty's silence, but the more she pushes, the further he pulls away. Every time she opens herself up to him, she faces rejection. Every time she tries to make sense of his return, she's left with more questions. This tug of war creates an emotional roller coaster, and it's clear that Ty's return will not be a simple road back to happiness. Instead, it becomes a test of whether love can survive after so much pain and loss. Ty's return in Heartland. Season 19 isn't just a twist for shock value, it's a profound exploration of grief, healing, and the complexities of love. It's a story about two people trying to find their way back to each other after everything has changed. The past is never truly gone. It always has a way of resurfacing. And for Ty and Amy, their love story will never be simple. But for fans who have stuck by them, there's a glimmer of hope that perhaps, after all the turmoil, love can still find its way home. The absence of Ty Borden has loomed large over the Heartland family for years. His death left an unfillable void in Amy's heart, and it seemed that the family had been forced to learn how to move on without him. However, the reappearance of Ty in Heartland Season 19 forces everyone to reconsider the narrative they've believed all along. Ty, the man they thought they knew, has returned, but he's not the same person who once walked away from the family he loved. To understand the weight of this twist, it's essential to explore what happened during the years that Ty was gone and how his experiences have shaped the man who has come back. For Amy, the sudden re-entry of Ty into her life brings both relief and an overwhelming sense of confusion. Her initial joy of seeing him alive soon turns to frustration as she's forced to confront the fact that Ty is not the same. There are parts of him, parts that once felt like home, that now seem distant. This return is not just about a reunion, but about uncovering the story of the man who went away and the person who has come back. For Amy and the audience, Ty's transformation becomes one of the most compelling aspects of his return. Ty's time away is shrouded in mystery. While we, as viewers, saw him as a loving husband and father, the period following his departure was not fully revealed. Ty's absence has always been marked by grief, but it's never been fully explained what took him away from Amy and their young daughter, Lindy. We learn, bit by bit, that Ty's journey was far more complicated than anyone could have imagined. The truth comes in pieces, fragments of the man he became during his absence, and how his time away changed him in profound ways. One of the first signs that Ty is not the person Amy remembers is his appearance. He has the same gentle smile, the same caring eyes. But there's something darker in the way he carries himself. His body language speaks volumes. There's a weight to his posture, a burden that he now carries. It's clear that the man who left Heartland is not the same one who returned. The trauma he faced, the loss of his own sense of self, and the challenges he encountered during his time away have altered him in ways that Amy is not yet ready to face. His distant demeanor and the pain in his eyes hint at a life that has not been as easy as the one he left behind. The emotional toll of Ty's absence is something Amy struggles to understand. Ty never shared his pain with her, and his silence speaks louder than any words ever could. Amy is left to grapple with his return in an environment that no longer resembles the one they once shared. She finds herself wondering what happened during those lost years, and why Ty never came back sooner. The fact that he has returned now, after everything has changed, makes her wonder if his return is even about her, or if it is about something else entirely. Ty's journey during his absence was not just about physical distance from his family. It was a psychological journey that altered him in ways no one could have anticipated. The show reveals that Ty struggled with unresolved issues from his past, including the trauma of his childhood and the weight of his previous choices. The man who left Heartland was far from perfect, and his return is a reminder that people are not static. They evolve, and sometimes they change in ways that make it difficult to recognize them. During his time away, Ty found himself in a world filled with new challenges and burdens. His work, which was once focused on the land and animals of Heartland, shifted toward a life that was more about survival and self-discovery. Ty's physical and emotional journey during this time led him to develop a deep understanding of the pain that comes with abandonment, loss, and healing. He encountered obstacles that tested his limits and shaped him in ways that Amy could not have foreseen. One of the most profound aspects of Ty's transformation is how his personal struggles are kept under wraps for much of the season. His silence is not because he is indifferent to Amy or their daughter Lindy, but because he is carrying the weight of a past that he hasn't learned how to process. Ty's quiet nature has always been a part of who he is, but now it serves as a barrier to his relationships. The man who once shared his heart with Amy is now hesitant, withdrawn, and often distant, leaving Amy in a state of emotional limbo. She desperately wants to understand, but Ty's inability to open up becomes a major point of tension between them. As Ty grapples with his inner demons, it becomes clear that his return is about more than just rekindling old love. His journey back to Heartland is one of redemption, not only for himself but also for his relationships with the people he left behind. The more Amy pushes him for answers, the more Ty recoils, revealing just how much pain he's been carrying. This creates a stark contrast between the Ty we remember and the Ty we see now. The old Ty was full of dreams and hopes for the future. The new Ty is guarded, reluctant to expose the truth of his experiences. His emotional struggles have hardened him, but it's also clear that he still cares deeply for Amy and their family. Despite his distance, there are moments where Ty's vulnerability shines through. These brief glimpses of the man he once was serve as a reminder of the deep love that still exists between him and Amy. But these moments are fleeting, and the more Amy tries to break through Ty's emotional wall, the more she feels the gap growing between them. His return doesn't simply pick up where they left off. It forces both of them to navigate the complex emotions of the past and try to reconcile them with the present. The question of what Ty has been through during his absence looms over the entire season. It's clear that he's been through a lot, emotional scars that he hasn't fully processed, and experiences that he hasn't shared. As the season progresses, Amy's determination to understand what happened begins to take center stage. She pushes Ty to open up, to let her in. But with each attempt, the emotional distance between them becomes more pronounced. His walls, once a protective mechanism, now serve as a barrier to their healing. Ty's journey away from Heartland and his eventual return is not just about physical distance, but about the emotional and psychological transformation he underwent. It is a complex, layered narrative that reflects the complexities of trauma, healing, and love. For Amy, his return is both a blessing and a curse, a chance to reconnect with the man she loved, but also a reminder of all the pain and unanswered questions that still linger in the shadows. Ty's transformation is a pivotal part of Heartland Season 19, and it serves as a reminder that people change over time, sometimes in ways that are hard to understand. His return forces Amy and the entire Heartland family to confront their past, their present, and the difficult journey toward healing and redemption. Whether or not Ty and Amy can find their way back to each other, the story of his transformation is one of the most powerful arcs in the series, a reflection of the complexities of love, loss, and the emotional toll that time can take on the people we care about. For Amy, the return of Ty is both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, she has the chance to reconnect with the man she still deeply loves, but on the other, she is forced to reckon with the fact that their relationship has fundamentally changed. The years of separation have left a lasting impact on Amy. She has built a life without Ty, and while part of her wants to pick up where they left off, she realizes that the reality of their relationship now is far from that ideal. Amy has grown, matured, and become a more independent woman during Ty's absence. Her focus has shifted from relying on Ty to building a stable future for Lindy and herself. The emotional gap that Ty left behind has created a new dynamic in their relationship, one that is filled with both hope and uncertainty. Ty's return forces Amy to confront the possibility that they might never be able to return to the way things once were. The emotional walls that have formed between them are hard to break down. Ty is not the same man he was when he left, and Amy is not the same woman. Their connection, though strong, is now tempered with the scars of time. Ty's inability or unwillingness to open up about his experiences has created a rift between them. Amy desperately wants to understand the man he's become, but Ty's silence makes it difficult for her to get close to him again. This barrier creates a tension in their relationship that neither of them knows how to navigate. Amy wants to support Ty, to love him in the way she once did, but she finds herself questioning whether the man before her is still the Ty she fell in love with. What makes their relationship even more complicated is the fact that Amy is now a mother. Ty's return forces her to reconsider not only her relationship with him, but also her role as a mother. Lindy, their daughter, has grown up without her father, and her emotional attachment to Ty is complicated. Amy wants to make this transition as smooth as possible for Lindy, but she also knows that the process of healing will not be easy for any of them. Lindy's confusion, Ty's guilt, and Amy's own doubts all play a role in how their family begins to reconnect. Amy wants to believe that everything will fall into place, but the reality is that rebuilding their family will take time, patience, and a deep understanding of each other's emotions. The emotional tension between Amy and Ty reaches its peak when they face the question of what kind of future they can have together. Amy's fear that Ty might leave again, or that their relationship might not survive the weight of the past, is a constant undercurrent. She wants to believe in the future they once dreamed of, but Ty's emotional distance makes it difficult for her to know if that's even possible. Ty's struggle to communicate his feelings only adds to the tension. His reluctance to share his inner world with Amy leads to misunderstandings and missed opportunities for emotional connection. As much as Amy wants to move forward with him, she knows that without transparency and communication, their relationship will remain stuck in the past. Despite the difficulties, there are moments of tenderness that remind both Amy and the audience of the deep love that still exists between them. These moments are fleeting but significant. A shared glance, a brief touch, or a simple conversation reveals that the love between them has not disappeared. It has just been buried beneath years of emotional turmoil. These moments of connection are not enough to erase the pain, but they serve as a reminder that there is still hope for the future. For Amy, these small gestures are enough to keep her going, even if she's unsure of what the future holds for their relationship. One of the key elements in their journey toward healing is the process of forgiveness. Amy, though hurt by Ty's absence, still harbors a deep love for him. But she also feels betrayed, not just by his physical absence, but by his emotional withdrawal. Ty's inability to be vulnerable and share his feelings with her has left Amy feeling alone in their marriage. The act of forgiveness is not easy for Amy. She wants to understand why Ty left, why he shut her out, and why he didn't come back sooner. But as the season unfolds, she begins to realize that Ty's return is not an easy fix. It's not about sweeping the past under the rug. It's about facing it head-on and working together to rebuild what they had. For Ty, the process of reconnecting with Amy is equally challenging. He has returned not just to rebuild his relationship with Amy, but also to confront the trauma he's been carrying for years. The silence that once served as a form of self-protection now stands as a wall between him and the woman he loves. Ty is haunted by the ghosts of his past, and opening up to Amy is something he has never been able to do. His emotional distance is not a sign of indifference, but of deep inner turmoil. He doesn't know how to express his feelings, and the fear of being vulnerable keeps him from truly connecting with Amy. The longer he remains silent, the more he pushes Amy away, and the harder it becomes for him to repair the damage. The complexities of their relationship are evident in the way they both handle their emotions. Amy, though wanting to heal, struggles to understand Ty's reluctance to open up. She wants to feel secure in their relationship again, but Ty's actions leave her constantly questioning whether they can truly move forward. Ty, on the other hand, is caught in a cycle of guilt and fear. He feels the weight of his past decisions, and the thought of disappointing Amy again terrifies him. This emotional baggage makes it even harder for them to find their way back to each other. As the season progresses, Amy and Ty's relationship becomes a delicate dance of love, loss, and healing. They both want to be together, but the scars of the past cannot be easily erased. Amy, in her quest for answers and emotional clarity, must learn to be patient with Ty, understanding that healing takes time. Ty, in turn, must find the strength to be vulnerable with Amy, to confront the pain he's been hiding, and to trust that their love can survive the weight of his past. The journey of Amy and Ty in Heartland Season 19 is a poignant reminder that love is not always easy. It requires effort, understanding, and most importantly, the willingness to face the past in order to build a future. Their story is not one of immediate reconciliation, but of gradual healing, emotional growth, and the realization that love, even when tested by time and trauma, has the power to endure. In Heartland Season 19, the sense of community becomes more crucial than ever. As Amy and Ty navigate the emotional complexities of their own relationship, they are not alone. They are surrounded by a tight-knit group of people who have shared their joys, sorrows, and triumphs over the years. In a way, the people of Heartland are as much a part of Amy and Ty's healing journey as they are. The season emphasizes the importance of these relationships, family, friends, and even the horses, that help the characters face their challenges and push forward. At the core of the Heartland community is the Bartlett-Fleming family. Each member of this family has faced their own set of trials, and yet they remain bound together by a deep love and understanding of one another. The return of Ty in particular shifts the family dynamics in profound ways. It's clear that while Amy's heart is still with Ty, the family she has created in his absence has shaped her in ways she didn't expect. Her bond with her daughter Lindy, her relationship with her grandfather Jack, and her partnership with her sister Lou all have grown and evolved over the years. These relationships, though strong, are also challenged by the return of Ty and the shifting emotional landscape. Jack, ever the pillar of wisdom in the family, offers a steady presence throughout the season. His role in Amy's life is crucial, not just as a grandfather, but as someone who has experienced his own share of love, loss, and redemption. Jack's guidance, though sometimes tough and direct, provides a much-needed sense of grounding for Amy. He understands the complexities of Ty's return and the emotional strain it puts on Amy. Jack's own experience with loss and healing allows him to offer advice that speaks to the deeper struggles Amy faces, helping her find a balance between honoring the past and looking forward to the future. His wisdom is not just about how to cope with the present, but also about the importance of healing and forgiveness in the long run. Lou, Amy's sister, also plays a significant role in this season's emotional development. Lou, who has always been pragmatic and business-minded, has her own emotional journey to navigate, especially as she tries to support Amy through her ups and downs. Lou's role as a sister, mother, and businesswoman means that she often finds herself trying to be the glue that holds the family together. Her relationship with Amy has been tested in the past, but Lou's unshakable loyalty to her sister becomes one of the season's cornerstones. She might not always agree with Amy's choices, but her devotion to family and her love for Amy pushes her to be the supportive, if sometimes tough, voice that Amy needs. Lou's insights and emotional strength provide a contrast to Amy's vulnerabilities, and together they form a dynamic that serves to bolster both of them during difficult times. Throughout the season, the importance of friendship also shines through. One of the defining qualities of the Heartland series has been the close friendships that have formed between the characters. These relationships are more than just a network of support. They are lifelines that help the characters survive their darkest days. Friends like Caleb, Tim, and others offer Amy and Ty not only support, but also the occasional distraction from their emotional struggles. These friendships serve as a reminder that no one is ever truly alone, even when they feel like they are. There are moments where Amy and Ty's emotional burdens become overwhelming, but their friends and extended family are there to help shoulder the load. The horse ranch itself, Heartland, is also an integral part of the community. The land, the animals, and the legacy of the ranch all play symbolic roles in the characters' growth. Heartland is not just a place of business. It is a sanctuary, a place of healing, and a place where relationships are tested and strengthened. Horses, as always, remain a central part of the story. They serve as mirrors for the emotional struggles the characters face, reflecting the healing, trust, and growth that are so vital to the narrative. The horses are not just animals, They are representations of the characters' inner journeys. For Amy, working with the horses is both a form of therapy and a way to rebuild trust and confidence, not just with the animals, but within herself and her relationships. As much as Ty and Amy's journey is a personal one, it's clear that they cannot heal in isolation. The support they receive from their community plays a vital role in their recovery. There are moments when both